So we're going to have to find the derivatives. This is number 4 or 5. I forgot. Alright, so we're going ahead and start. So we have to do it all with respect to x. So by saying that, it means anything that has an x, we have to take a derivative of it. So if it doesn't have an x, as we're going to see a number at c, you see what we do. Alright, so this is y. So we need to find y prime. So remember the general rule in taking the derivative of a power function. Um, so it's a n x to the n minus 1. So you bring down the exponent, and then the new exponent just subtract 1 from it. So it's going to be 4 times 3 times x squared plus 5 times 2x minus 7. The plus 8 goes away. Alright, so this becomes 12x squared plus 10x minus 7. Alright, b. It is 5x cubed minus 4x squared. You can do this two ways. You can go ahead and do the FOIL method if you want, or you can use chain rule. Chain rule says this. So you have a function inside the function. It is the same function, no, the derivative of the outside function with the same inside function times the derivative of the inside function. Okay? So the inside function in this case is 5x cubed minus 4x. This is the inside function. This is g of x. Okay? Now the outside function is this, the squared. So the outside function is just x squared. Alright? So you go ahead and take the derivative of this. So we take the derivative of x squared, which is just, so f prime is 2x. Okay? So it's 2 times the same inside, 5x cubed minus 4x, times g prime. The derivative of this would be 15x squared minus 4. So it would be times 15x squared minus 4. Now, hopefully, Professor's not a douche, and you just leave it like this. There's no need really to FOIL anything. That's just dumb. You don't need to do that. Just leave it like that. I'm pretty sure it'll be perfectly fine. Alright, see, this is y is equal to 10 pi to the 4 plus 5 pi plus 9. So we have to take a derivative with respect to x. Is there any x's here? No, there are no x's. This is just a constant. It's just a number. It's whatever. So a derivative of a constant is just 0. Okay? So please pay attention. If it says take respect to x, then there's no x's, so the derivative is always going to be just 0. Okay? So even if it had y is equal to, I don't know, 5t squared, well, you're supposed to take a derivative with respect to x. There is no x here. So this is still considered a constant. Okay? Even though there is no x, this is still considered a constant. So the derivative of a constant is just going to be 0. Alright? So we have to pay attention. Read the instructions, says with respect to x, so you have to take with respect to x. If there's no x's in there, then the derivative of that is just going to be just 0. Alright, so we have y is equal to the cube root of x squared plus x cubed minus the square root of x. Alright, in order for you to do these, you have to rewrite the square roots as powers. Okay? So remember your tricks, your power rules, my bad. So the nth root of x to the n power is the same thing as saying x to the m over n power. Okay, so this becomes x to the 2/3 power plus x cubed minus x to the 1/2 power. So to take a derivative, we still do the same thing. You still bring down the exponent. So it's 2/3 x, then you subtract 1. 2/3 minus 1 is negative 1/3. Plus 3x squared minus, bring down the 1/2. 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. So it's x to negative 1/2 power. I'm pretty sure this is fine for your teacher, but just in case they're not, because I know you can. This one's easier to convert it to radicals again. It's 2 over 3 times the cube root of x plus 3x squared minus 1 over 2 times the square root of x. Okay, all those are exactly the same. So we have 2x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x plus 6 divided by x. So here we have to use the quotient rule. We have f of x divided by g of x. This is pretty much the same as the product rule, except instead of a plus sign, it's going to be a minus sign. So it's, or easy way I remember it is ho d high. Let me write it out. Ho d high minus high d ho divided by ho ho. Okay. Ho means the bottom, high means the high one. So it's just g of x, d high, d stands for derivative, so f prime of x minus f of x times the derivative of x, the g of x, divided by g squared. Okay, so it's just the derivative of the top times the bottom minus the derivative of the bottom times the top, divided by the bottom squared. All right, so every time I'm doing this stuff, I like to just write everything out again. Just give me extra practice to make things look prettier. So f of x was 2x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x plus 6. So f prime will be 6x squared plus 8x minus 5. Alright, g of x in this case is x, so g prime of x is just 1. So now we can go ahead and just plug in everything to this equation. Alright, so we plug in, we're going to get, so it's f prime times g, so it's these two. So it's going to be 6x squared plus 8x minus 5, all of this times x, minus, I'm going to do a different color so that you can just see better, these two, 1 times 2x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x plus 6 divided by x squared. Alright, so let's go ahead and simplify this out. So we're going to distribute our negative, our x. So we're going to be left with 6x cubed plus 8x squared minus 5x. And now we distribute the minus, so it'll be minus 2x cubed minus 4x squared plus 5x minus 6. Alright, so we have first up x squared, 6x cubed minus 2x squared, that gives you 4x cubed. You have 8x squared minus 4x squared, that gives you 4x squared. And then negative 5x cancels out the 5x, and then you're left with minus 6, and all divided by x squared. Pretty cool. So again, just write out your top function again, take derivative of that. write up your product function and take derivative of that, and then go ahead and just do derivative of f times g, derivative of g times f. All right. So next one is the product rule. It is the cube root of x squared times x cubed plus x. So once again, we have to rewrite this in terms of powers. We have to write this in exponential form. So it was x to the 2/3 times x cubed plus x. Again, you can distribute the 2/3 to both sides. You'd be fine. But it's just, I think he wants to skip use of the product rule. So the product rule says derivative of the first times g plus g prime f. Okay. So once again, f in this case is x to the 2/3. So f prime is 2/3 x to the negative 1/3. G is x cubed plus x. G prime is 3x squared plus 1. So we're going to go ahead and cross multiply. So you're left with x to the 2/3 times 3x squared plus 1 plus, cross multiply these two, times 2/3 x to the negative 1/3 times x cubed plus x. Alright, so you're multiplying the bases, so you're going to add the exponents. So 2/3 times plus 2, 2 becomes 6/3, so that's 8/3, so it's x plus 8/3 plus x to the 2/3. Multiply these out again as minus, so you're going to be subtracting the 3, so that's 9/3, so it's 2/3 x to the 8/3 plus 2/3 x to the 2/3 again, because remember there's a 1 here, so you subtract 1/3, so negative 1/3 plus 3, subtract 1/3 from 3, you're left with 8/3. Negative 1/3 plus 1, you subtract a third from the 1, you get 2/3. So you have 8/3, 8/3, 2/3, and 2/3. So go ahead and add them together. Remember there's a 1 here, so that's going to give you 5/3 x to the 8/3 plus 5/3 times x to the 2/3. Alright? And then the last one, it's going to be the same thing as the product rule. Alright, so once again, f of x is x cubed minus 4x squared minus x minus 4. F prime is 3x squared minus 8x minus 1. G of x is square root of x, or x to the 1/2. G prime is 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. Okay? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. So remember, it's HODI high. So derivative of the top times the bottom. So these two first. So we're going to have x to the 1/2 times 3x squared minus 8x minus 1 minus, now it's just these two, minus 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 times x cubed minus 4x squared minus x minus 4. Again, so you're going to be, so this is we're going to distribute. You're going to distribute, so you're going to get so you got to add them. So 2 in terms of half is 4 halves. This is 2 halves. So we're going to get 1/2 plus 4 halves, 5 halves. So we're going to end up getting x to the 5 halves minus 8 to the 3 halves minus x to the 1/2 power minus 1/2. This is 6/3. I mean 6 halves. My bad. Subtracting, you get 5 halves, so it's x to the 5 halves. Minus makes a plus. 1/2 times 4 is 2. So it's 2 to the 3 halves, and then minus or plus 2x to the 1/2 power, to the negative f/2 power. All right. So we combine. Whoa, this should be a 2. My bad. That should be a 2. This is also a 2. So we're gonna go ahead and combine like terms. Combine these two, you get 1/2 x to the 5 halves power. Next, combine the 8/3 minus 6 x to the 3 halves power. This is x 1/2 plus 2 to the x to the negative 1/2. That is, you cannot combine those because those are totally different. This is positive exponent as a negative exponent, not the same. And now the bottom square, which is just square root squared, is just going to be x. So now you can simplify this. So you can be subtracting 1 from each, or 2 over 2. So you have 1/2. 5 minus 2 is 3, so you're left with 3 halves. Minus 6. 3 minus 2 is 1, so to the 1/2. 1 minus 2 is negative 1, so to the negative 1/2. 1 minus 2 is negative 3, so it'll be x raised to the negative 3 halves power. Alright, let's go ahead and do this real quick again. So you distribute, so you have to remember when you're multiplying the bases, the same base, you add the exponents. So 1/2 plus 2 is 5 halves, 1/2 plus 1 is 3 halves, and the x squared, x to the 1/2 stays the same. So again, we multiply by the same basis, so you add the exponents. Negative 1/2 plus 3 is 5 halves. Negative 1/2 plus 2 is 3 halves. And then this stays the same. And then we combine like terms, 5 halves with 5 halves, 3 halves with 3 halves. And you cannot combine 1/2 and the negative 1/2. You cannot combine those two.